But where does this stand for you? I mean, in this draft class, obviously these guys have not played a snap in the NFL, but the hype of this, a lot of people have been comparing this to the 83 draft. You had Marino, you had Elway, you had Kelly, Blackledge, all these guys that came in, Ken O'Brien. I looked back, there was a couple other years, obviously 2004, Phillip Rivers, Eli, Big Ben, those guys. 2012 with RG3, Andrew Luck, was Tannehill.
Tannehill was a top 10 pick that year.
Craziness. 2017, obviously the Mahomes draft and Deshaun Watson. 2018, obviously, Nathan, you know that one, Lamar, Josh Allen, all those guys. And then even a sleeper, the 2020 with who you had, Tua came out of that one.
Was that Tua, Burrow, Herbert?
Yeah, I think that was Jay Herb, Burrow, all those guys.
Who's the fifth guy that year? Yeah, because there was Tua, Herbert, Burrow. Jordan Love was, I think, the fifth drafted.
Yes.
And there was another between, I think.
Who else did they get that year?
I'll look it up.
Yeah. Who else did they get that year? Let me see. 2020. All right, here. Burrow was 1. Tua was 5. Herb was 6. Oh, Jordan Love was 26. And then Jalen Hurts didn't get picked up to the 53rd pick.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. Oh,
yeah.
That draft. Woo. Yeah. So where does this draft compare? We've had the benefit of seeing all of these guys play college ball, and it's fresh in our minds. Obviously, we have the benefit of looking at all of the guys in these other drafts that got picked up. But when you look at this draft, where would you compare it? How high do you think these guys could be?
Something just popped into my mind here that's crazy about just talking about that 2020 draft.
Yeah.
Some of the guys Herbert played his senior year or junior year, whatever it was that he left, just got drafted. He played Jaden Daniels when he was at Arizona State, and he played Bo Nix when he was at Auburn.
Oh, that's right.
He's getting drafted now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that just flew into my mind there. I think for me, this is pretty similar. I'd compare it closer to 2018.
Okay.
Where you've got a couple of those guys right up at the top where, we expected a lot from, Mayfield, Darnold, whether we got it or not. Mm-hmm. And then there was a lot of talk on Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and those kind of guys, and even Josh Rosen for that matter. And then you look at this class where there's all the expectations for Caleb and Jaden and Drake. Drake's more of that kind of Josh Allen where it's like, you get this guy in the right spot, he's going to be special. And JJ's kind of in that unknown, what do we really have here? Penix and Nix and those kind of guys are those kind of like Darnold and Rosen, those guys that had been there and shown it, but how are they going to transition to the NFL? So to me, I really like the comparison of 2018 to the 2024 rookie class. But I see little bits of the 83, the 04, the 2020, 2012. To me, it's just if there was more of those kind of high profile quarterbacks, then I'd compare it more to this year. But for me, 2018 and 83 would be the real ones.
Yeah, I think 83 is one of the easier picks. But I don't know. Honestly, when I look at how the top 2 quarterbacks were looked at, and then kind of went down the list.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I had Drake a little higher. I would actually look at 2012. And because you had Luck and you had RG3, those were the top 2 that everybody wanted, like Caleb and Jaden Daniels. Mm-hmm. And then you look at the rest of that draft. Obviously, there's Brock Osweiler, who did get a contract from
he got a lot of money.
He got a lot of money, even though he didn't do great. But then you also got Russell Wilson, Super Bowl champion, Nick Foles, Super Bowl champion, and then Kirk Cousins, who obviously is making a whole lot of bread. So I think what we saw in the 2012 was that obviously the two top guys that everybody expected to, unfortunately, injuries cut their career short. But you look at that back half and you look at the Russell Wilson, Nick Foles, and Kirk Cousins and the amount of success that they have had. I think we can see something similar from the JJs, from the Bo Nicks, and who knows what's going to happen with Penix. But in reality, you and I was talking to Will about this. What happened to Penix, I would have loved that to been Drake May. Sit behind Kirk Cousins, have a couple years where you can like have the team be built up, understand the system, and then be able to play. So I don't have necessarily a problem as far as on the depth of having your starter and having the young quality guy that can learn, a la what the Chiefs did with Mahomes, where they had him sit for a little bit. But at the same time, I would have liked it to have been Drake. So I kind of like that. I think we're that 2012 class, and hopefully, the first two guys, especially for me, hopefully Jayden Daniels doesn't get hurt. It doesn't, even though I have compared this to RG3. I have said this is RG3 2.0. Hopefully, Jayden, you're listening and you can get down. Get down. Come on, buddy.
Yeah. Please slide because you didn't show up much in college. Please slide.
And he's not big. He's not that big. No. Oh my God. I try to tell people, but I'm not going there. But yeah, I see it. I definitely could see pieces of that 2012. But I'm honestly, I think with the amount of picks that got picked in the first round and just the amount of hype, and we've seen hype over the last couple of years, Zach Wilson, who just got traded, Trey Lance, all these guys that has not panned out. But after watching these guys and after following these guys, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, following them from when they first came in and watching them rise, honestly, I really feel like as far as comparison of talent and what the potential could be, 83 and this one are neck and neck.
Yeah. Obviously, we got to see the guys play. And then the way you explain 2012 makes a lot more sense than the way I was thinking of it when you're comparing the two. I hope we can get something similar to the 83 class because there's a lot of really great quarterbacks from that draft. And I mean, as much as I hate talking about it that way with two of them in my division, right? You never want to see anyone get injured and have that derail their career. And honestly, you never want to see the guys play poorly either. Like, if fans had it their way, every guy would work out. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah. But what I do want to emphasize with this and with us talking about this is, ladies and gentlemen, don't buy the hype. And I don't necessarily mean that for this group, but I mean it in general, because you see this every year. Oh yeah, exactly. Every year you see this where these guys get pushed up higher and higher and higher. And it's like, wait a minute. Are we totally missing all of these errors and all these things that we've seen that they did wrong? They're gonna because they can throw a ball 50 yards down the field on a dime when nobody's guarding them and they're in shorts and short sleeves. Then all of a sudden we can move them up. So I just want to pump y'all brakes on that. I don't think we don't have to worry about it with this class, but as we've seen over the last several years, pump your brakes.
I will say, to me, the hype around these quarterbacks feels a little different.
Yeah.
Because all these guys, whether it's a few moments from a guy like JJ just because of the offense they ran, or guys like Caleb and them, we've seen the moments on tape.
Yeah.
Yep. They've given a reason to be hyped about them. But still, gotta see it when the bullets fly faster at the NFL level.
Exactly.